So here is Lee at Tryon International, and this is a couple of weeks after Kentucky. So I dropped him down to the 3-star level. That's pretty easy for him, just to have a nice, easy go. So, we're about to go into the dressage ring, and he's really becoming quite the professional in the dressage. And coming down the center line, working on keeping him nice and straight. And for this test, we just drop into the trot and track. And I trusted him through this corner here, and kind of went a little quick through that turn, but he is feeling nice and forward, going directly into that shoulder end. Which I almost got a smidge too much angle, but overall was very nice. And then into our half pass. And I'm just loving how relaxed he is and how rideable he's feeling. Feeling very good through his body. And making sure I do my 10-meter circles. And now we go for our extended trot. He doesn't have the flashiest extended trot, but he does have a correct one. So he oversteps and he does reach out through his neck and then into the halt. And we almost had a perfect halt. And then I think I just shimmied a little bit, and it caused him to kind of come off balance for that left front. But we were so close. Now into our walk work. And he's pretty good in the walk. Again, he's becoming much more relaxed in our tests. So the walk is where I can really gain some points in our extended walk. He started off a little kind of behind though, but then I got him to take the contact and really start to overstep. And it's nice to be able to, push a horse and not always feel like you're having to contain a rocket type thing, like how I used to have to a little bit with Johnny. Then we have the transition back to a medium walk where the frame just changes, and now back into the trot. So that was a fairly nice transition. Going into our shoulder end. This is the shoulder end to the right, so this has always been a little bit more so the weaker side, and I kind of get a little bit of tilting this way. But I'm able to fix it by the time I do the half pass, which is very nice. The shoulder is leading while we're nice and bent around the rib cage. And then into our 10-meter circle. And then the next movement is to canter at C, which sometimes Lee can be a little lackadaisical about. It's canter transition. So not the most crisp or clear, but it was there. And then into the medium canter across the diagonal, which can be difficult sometimes, especially with these horses that we do flying changes and stuff. But he was feeling very much on cue. And then into the canter walk, which now this is a very hard movement because you've done a medium, you've dropped the trot, you just picked up the canter, and then you have to go right away into a collected canter walk. So this test can be a little bit abrupt that way, but Lee handled that pretty well. And for him, those canter walks are a bit of his weakness, but I was quite pleased with how he did those. And then into our Stretchy Canter, he's being a little silly. So I tend to cue him by rubbing the neck a little bit to tell him to take the bit. And he can get a little funny and do some Spanish-y trots, which is, I always giggle at him. So back for our medium canter across the short side, into the trot. And now into our final halt. And I just got a little bit to the left because I tend to protect that right hind from going to the right. But overall, I was really quite pleased with this test, and we were 5th going into show jump. Now for our show jump, it of course was kind of raining off and on, and you can see there Lee was a little bit of a wild man. But I was hoping it wasn't going to rain, but then while I was in the ring, it started to come down pretty good. So because he's just feeling a little excited, I want to take my time. I have my 45 seconds to kind of get him relaxed and listening and have that same kind of rideability that I had in the dressage ring. Coming to the first fence, I'm a little bit on the decrease, so I have to give myself a kick in the pants and say, come on, ride him more forward. He jumps the next one very good. And this rode in a bending 8 to the 5, which he does very good. And he's feeling really just on it. Coming to this triple, want to make sure I get a nice shot in. And I'm trying to make sure I ride pretty efficient with my turns, because this course was causing actually a fair amount of rails and time penalties. Then coming right along there next to the stands, he was a smidge spooky, but he was listening. And then to that double, jumped very good. And he's just feeling very, very confident. And then here I went to do a half halt, and I think he thought that we were like done and to go to the left, because he wasn't balking or anything. It was just a little bit of a miscommunication there. But he was a good boy to kind of go. I went, no, go. And then we jumped the last line and we were clear. So I was super pleased with him. We moved up to 4th, and he did his little happy dance at the end. He's pretty funny. But super pleased with him. Then on for cross country. My goal setting out was to just let him kind of go at his pace. After cross country at Kentucky, I just wanted to kind of see how he felt. And again, this is the 3-star level. And he was just cruising. It really felt good to just feel him wanting to attack the fences. And again, there's not very many people here either, but I do think Kentucky was a good experience for him to get that mileage of having that type of crowd and atmosphere. But sometimes it's important to then dial it back down for them so they can build themselves back up. So then coming to this water combination here, I'm going to take my time, balance up. He comes in and he pops over there. It's fairly easy. And he's just feeling really good. It's feeling nice and smooth and really efficient. And so we're just zipping around these driving obstacles. And then back to the other single little box which actually was kind of like good practice from the box that I had that first little 20 at Kentucky. So I made sure I didn't make the mistakes there. But again, we made time. We were one of the only horses to make time in this division, moved up to 2nd, but he was just cruising along and it felt super easy. So I was super happy with him.
Get all on the trailer.
I can get organized for Bromont.
Are you videoing me rocking your dog? Move. What was I supposed to say?
Heads up.
Heads up are 2 words. Move. I could just say move.
This is going on one of my vlogs.
Hi, I'm Pocket.
She's quite happy.